Hello, and welcome to the 2022 State of the Township Address. I'm your Mayor, Jeff Martin, and it's my privilege to provide you with a report on the state of our township, Hamilton Township. 2022 has been a roller coaster ride. Back in January, we started with an Omicron COVID surge, and world events have continued to shape our local community, like the war in Ukraine. But each and every obstacle we've faced, we've been able to meet, we've been resilient, and we've been able to overcome. That's why I'm proud to say the state of our township here in 2022 is as strong as ever. Earlier this year, myself and your Hamilton Township Council finalized a 2022 municipal budget. And I'm proud to say again, that budget called for no new tax increases. Now, Hamilton Township is only about 35% of your property tax bill. But this year, thanks to the hard work of the Hamilton Township School Board and your Mercer County government, both those governments had no new taxes this year either. Meaning for the first time in a very long time, Hamilton Township residents will see no new taxes this year. A great accomplishment in a normal year, an even better accomplishment during the inflationary pressures we've seen and the historic rates of inflation not seen in 40 years. We've been able to do this all while not cutting services to the great programs you expect of us, whether that's 4th of July celebration or our soon-to-be Oktoberfest. We've even been able to expand some of the great programming, such as our National Night Out led by our Hamilton Township Police Division. So I couldn't be more proud of this government and each and every employee and be able to provide you those services you expect each and every year. We continue to face many challenges, though, as a municipal government. One no bigger than Trenton Waterworks. Trenton Waterworks has proved an enigma over the last several decades here to Hamilton Township. Just recently, I announced the difficulties we're having with Legionella here in Hamilton Township. And thanks to our partnership with the Department of Health and the Department of Environmental Protection, we've been able to get new data points and try to find the cause of that problem. This is on top of an ongoing problem in getting lead pipes removed from our homes and ensuring, in general, clean and safe drinking water. While this problem is difficult to address and difficult to find the cause of, it is no less important for us to get to the bottom of. And I assure you that myself, our Department of Health, the state, are all committed to making sure we get this right. I've spoken to Mayor Gussiora in Trenton a number of times on this issue, and he has always been supportive of making sure Trenton Waterworks gets itself to be an exemplary utility. While I applaud him for that goal, it's a matter of trusting and verifying that they will get there. To date, we have not seen it, but that's why back in 2020, we filed a lawsuit along with other municipalities and the state to keep Trenton Waterworks' feet to the fire. It's frustrating for me, and I know it's frustrating for you, that we know there's a problem, that we see there's a problem, but that we can't do much to fix the problem since it's a municipal-owned utility. But please trust that we're doing all we can to get Trenton Waterworks to fix the problem. One of the other basic services we provide each and every year is in the area of public safety. And I want to again congratulate our Hamilton Township Police Division and their chief, James Stevens, on this year being reaccredited by the New Jersey State Police Association, State Police Chiefs Association. Reaccreditation by the State Police Chiefs Association is something just above 10% of municipal departments ever achieve. It's certainly a credit to our Hamilton Township Police Division, but even more so when you consider the size of our police department, the many rules and regulations and policies they need to provide to keep you all safe each and every day. So again, congratulations to them, not only on reaccreditation, but the work they do day in and day out. We are also a year and a half into our Hamilton Township Fire Division consolidation. Just recently, Chief Kramer retired, and I want to again thank him for the unenviable task he had as the first ever fire chief of our consolidated Hamilton Township Fire Division. Chief Tazi, who has now taken over, has big shoes to fill. But thanks to his education, experience, and training, and previous work as a district chief, I know he has what it takes to get the job done. We knew consolidation was never going to be easy, that there would be ups and downs, that there would be issues that presented themselves that we never anticipated. However, our firefighters, the men and women of our Hamilton Township Fire Division, have answered each and every call for service. And they've done it professionally, they've done it competently, and they've been a true asset to Hamilton Township. We as a township government have to continue to invest in our township to provide you the very best of service. This year we've taken on numerous infrastructure projects through the work of our Public Works Director, Chuck Thomas, and our Community Development Director, Fred Dumont. You've seen the road improvements around town. Yardville Hamilton Square Road, South Broad Street. But you've seen other smaller ones where we've partnered with other entities. Mercer County has improved Layler Street and Whitehead Road. Aqua has improved numerous roads near Langtree Elementary School. And PSE&G is in the middle of different infrastructure projects where you will see road improvements there. Our water pollution control or sewer department has taken on a variety of infrastructure projects as well under the direction of our director, Carrie Fuhrer. What all these projects are a sign of is our commitment to making sure your basic services are met. Unfortunately, we've seen too many towns or counties or states fail to invest in their infrastructure. We've seen them have undrinkable water, power outages, but we refuse to accept those as realities here in Hamilton. And so I thank our directors and I thank our utilities for continuing to invest here in Hamilton so you all continue to get the basic needs. One of the things I'm excited about and was able to announce early this year in terms of improving our infrastructure is a new municipal complex at 1750 Whitehorse, Mercerville Road. Back in 2020, the township acquired the site and we sent out a request to residents to give us their thoughts, their opinions, their suggestions on what to use that property for. And while personally I agree with many of you, it would have made a great Target or a great Trader Joe's, it had a deed restriction that it had to be used for a public service. Earlier this year, we announced our intention, along with the Hamilton Township School District, to build a new joint municipal complex there. A central location in town and a central location for you to have anything you need from one of your two main governmental entities, all at the same place. This is roughly a 4-year project until it's complete, and there's much more work to do. But I want to publicly thank Dr. Scott Rocco and our Hamilton Township School Board for their willingness to go on this journey with us, for their willingness to see that our infrastructure here needed to be improved, and for their willingness to take that first step hand in hand with us. You will continue to see improvements at that site in the months and years to come. And talking to you all out in our community, I know you're just as excited as I am for it. Our current Hamilton Township Municipal building was built in 1928. I believe the current Hamilton Township School Board building was built in 1898. Between those two buildings, well over 200 years of service to our township. But like anything, there comes a time when it's time to move on. 2022 has presented a number of roller coaster items as it relates to COVID. If you recall, I mentioned earlier, at the start of this year, we had a huge Omicron COVID wave. I myself even got caught up in it. To where we are today is record low numbers. And many people ready to get another booster shot. I think we've all reached the conclusion that this pandemic is here to stay, that COVID's not going away, and we have to learn to live with it in our own way. But I want to again thank the work of our Hamilton Township Health Department over the last 2.5 years. It was about 1.5 years ago that they were fielding thousands of calls from our residents to get vaccinated. There was no playbook. There was no, well, this is how we've done it before. But they committed to being true public servants and getting the job done. We've also seen that commitment to public service in our Hamilton Township Animal Shelter. We knew 2.5 years ago that the shelter needed improvements in their policies and procedures. And I'm happy to say we've made many of those improvements so far. And while nothing's ever perfect, we continue to strive to be the very best we can be. However, what we've seen is something I wouldn't have anticipated. 2.5 years ago, during the start of the pandemic, we saw a near empty shelter as people stayed home and wanted lifelong companions. Unfortunately, now that the pandemic has waned and people are facing their own monetary issues, many animals have been turned over to our shelter. To the point now, in September of 2022, we face a full shelter. But our shelter staff has continued to ensure those animals are treated humanely and that we do our very best to ensure they get adopted out and find their forever home. One of the things I think you'll see over the coming months is Hamilton Township's cannabis policy. Back in 2020, you voted by a huge margin of 2-1 to say cannabis in the state of New Jersey should be legal. You sent a message to me and your other leaders that you're comfortable with cannabis being legal, provided it's not close to your school, it's not close to a park, it's not close to your house of worship. So what you'll see in the coming months, or what you'll hear in the coming months, is the start of some cannabis facilities here in town. But you won't hear of them being on Route 33, or in a residential neighborhood, or South Broad Street, or Klockner Road, or Cruiser Road, or any place like that. They'll be away from those places I talked about earlier. All while still providing jobs, all while still helping redevelop vacant properties, and providing a 2% tax on their gross revenue, which will help stabilize property taxes for the rest of us. So as you hear about these cannabis facilities coming on town, I urge you to do your research, and I urge you to understand the full potential benefits they have. In closing, I hope you have a great rest of the year 2022. It's been a roller coaster ride. If you recall, back in January, we were dealing with a huge surge in COVID cases. Now, as we stand here in September, we're nowhere near there, but we don't know what's to come in front of us. We've had other challenges that we've continued to meet, especially from pressures out of our control. The war in Ukraine is something nobody predicted, but it certainly felt here at home. But I know that we as a community here in Hamilton will continue to meet every challenge, will continue to be resilient in the face of those challenges, and will continue to overcome each and every one of those challenges we face. Why? Because we care for our neighbors, because we care for our community. I thank you for the honor of being your mayor, and I look forward to seeing you around town soon.